Hey guys, Funkymusic here. We're going to talk about the bans for cheating, blah blah blah. This got brought up to my attention the other day, kind of talking about it in the Discord channel, and just bans in general, and why I don't play PvP, and why you probably, if you're really looking to have a fun PvP experience, you should probably. I don't know if really is a one private server out there that really not have cheaters at the top end. That's always been a problem, always been an issue. It's one of the reasons that I think private servers get a definite knock, is because there's always some cheater trying to exploit something, somebody trying to get somewhere, and yada yada yada. One of the main issues that we always had, even back in the day, obviously with Hitchhiker and whatnot, was always being an issue. Tons of people abusing that, and nobody on the staff from Molten slash now Warmane, same staff, same everything, just a name change. One of the things we had was the Molten International Tournament 3, if you guys remember that. MIT 3. The top players got caught basically giving their accounts to AT players at the time. If you guys don't know what AT is, please go look that up. The old AT players are now mostly playing on BlackRock. AT and Molten merged, and then a year later Warmane was made, or name change was done, rebranding. But anyways, there was some cheating going on for that. Those people got their money taken back. They got banned permanently, as far as I remember. And this has been going on for quite some time where this has been happening. I know the latest thing, from what I'm piecing together here and just kind of looking up myself and whatnot, would be, we're talking about the Shinta stuff. For all the people, you guys can, I'll pause it here if you guys want to pause it. Go ahead and read this. It's PQR was another huge issue it's still abundant today. There's ways around it. This is really one of the reasons why playing on PvP and on any private server really just kind of sucks. There's plenty of guilds out there who refuse to cheat or hack, and it's really hard to do so efficiently in a PvE setting, especially in 25-man content, because you can you have one person hacking, but one person still screw it up. Somebody could still stand in a file, could consistently wipe the raid. Somebody could screw a boss mechanic up, wipe the raid. So it's a lot harder to get 25 people to run the same scripts and know what they're doing versus 1 to 2 players in a 2v2 or a 1v1 tournament, or even a 3v3 thing. Less players, less people you have to worry about all having the hack or knowing how to use it, etc., etc. And just one of the main reasons why I've stayed away from PvP. It's just filled with hackers. Again, here's another good example of why I hate PvP on Warmane. It's all the top end is loaded with people hacking, trying to get to the top, trying to get the prize money for certain stuff and whatnot. And these people need to be ashamed of themselves. They have to cheat in a game that's over a decade old now. It's really, really, really sad. I've prided myself on never cheating. When some of you may not remember, back in the Molten days, there were a lot of guilds that were cheating and hacking, using Hitchhiker to basically just shot bosses, using exploits to shot bosses, on purpose using them. The thing with Aurora was we always tried to never use those. That's one of the things that kind of made us who we were, set us apart from the other guilds. I'm not trying to put us up on a pedestal. There were other guilds out there that were also doing this. They just didn't have the skill to get to Lich King and kill him at the time. I raided with a few of them at the time when hacking was going bananas. Raiding Horde with Trinity. They were another guild. I believe the old crew from TFK. They were non-hackers when I used to raid with them back when they had first started out. So there were other guilds that prided themselves on not hacking and doing the content legitimately, but it was it was a crazy time, those first 3, 4, 5 years after Wrath really hit private servers big time, and there was a lot of hacking and cheating going on. And it's helped. Things have subsided substantially, but there's always going to be new ways around stuff. I think Hitchhikers, everyone had access to it, and the fact that they didn't have any anti-cheat up just made it, and Hitchhikers was so easy to use that everybody was using it. PQR is a little bit different. Some of these other things that these guys are putting into the game a little bit harder to A, detect, B, for the average person to use for the most part. So I don't think there's as much usage as it of those hacks as you see with some other stuff. So, but yeah, it's one of the main reasons why I never really PvP'd on Warmane. People ask that all the time. Why don't you really PvP? BGs are fun. They can be fun. That's fine. But when I see somebody, basically able to global me when they shouldn't be able to, or hitting spells faster than the global, or teleporting around, or just doing stuff that I know that an average, the average, even the higher end player there's no way you should be able to do those things. It's a real turn off to even continue to play PvP when you see that. Again, you don't find this in PvE as much, which is why after a while I kind of just stuck to the PvE side of things. I quit really doing anything competitively. Not that I was ever really trying to be at a top tier. I hit whatever 2K plus rating or whatever. It was fun while on the old Molten days before the reset. Me and Hines. But anyways, point being, this is just another example why I think PvP on private servers is pretty much just dead as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm sorry if you really enjoy PvP, if you think it's really fun. Most of the time you got to do PvE content anyways, guys, to get the weapons that you need. If you're not donating for your gear, you have to go and do all these PvE raids and whatnot in order to get your best gear, your best in slot gear. That way you can, do the max damage and have take the least amount of damage at the same time. So, yeah, just my thoughts on it. Just want to know what your guys' thoughts are. How bad is it these days? Like I said, I rarely get on to PvP. It might be like a late night thing where everyone's bored. Hey, let's go do PvP. And again, I've been retired now for 4 or 5 months now, whatever long it's been, 5, 6 months, whatever. So I'm not really up to date with what's been going on in the game. Just things that people post, things I hear about here and there. I still check in from time to time, still log in every once in a while, see what's going on. But yeah, I just kind of want to make this video and just explain why I think, PvP on private servers is just a bad idea in general. But let me know what you guys have come across, if it's still as rampant. I don't think it's obviously not as rampant as it was, 7, 8, 9 years ago on private servers, but it still exists. This is just kind of more proof of it. It's still existing. I'm reading stuff about people getting banned even though they've never done PvP before at all, and they're getting banned for something that they supposedly did in PvP. I don't know. It's so hard to tell who's telling the truth and who's not unless you're really there watching it. Because I like to believe people are telling me the truth, but we know how that goes. Not saying that they aren't, but unless I'm there, I hate to say, well, he's innocent or guilty. I'll just leave it at right down the middle. I'll just leave it right there. So, again, let me know what you guys think. Is it getting worse, getting better? What do you guys think about PvP in general on private servers and how it's evolved throughout the years for those of you who have been doing it for some time, or even the newcomers? Is it something that you guys see a whole lot of? I'm not going to get into the whole multi-boxing thing. Let's leave that alone. Just strictly cheating here. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. And again, that's all I got. So y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.